Menon was now in his early 30s. While he used journalism to expose the sufferings of the poor, his alert eyes were also carefully observing the rich. He sensed that although they had everything that money could buy, they were neither happy nor satisfied with their lives. If that's the case, does our country really need economic improvement? He questioned. In the background, other thoughts were percolating. In prison, he had witnessed the impermanency of life. But lately, his spiritual thoughts were beginning to stir the feelings of a divine peace within. Is there more to life? He questioned. Then came an event that would confirm his suspicions and change his path forever. Thanks to his success in journalism, his personality, and even his tennis skills, he accomplished entry into this event. The occasion was a grand ball in one of the palaces in Delhi. On the guest list were all the big shots of politics and business. That evening, Balakrishnan Menon entered the grand ball. As to what happened next, it is best served to read Gurudev's own recollection of it. Sick and suffering was this generation of hollow, lifeless creatures within those stuffy palace walls. In their fake smiles were hidden tears. In their insincere laughter were voiceless hatreds, stormy passions, and poisonous rivalries. This was enough for me. I saw firsthand what a godless animal life it was. On the very first day of gate-crashing into the palace of life, Balakrishnan Menon decided to quit it for good. For 3 years, I secretly pursued a life of strict spiritual practice, while still remaining in the mainstream of life. End quote. He walked out that evening, a free man. The exact path forward was not clear, but that did not matter. He knew for sure that the path to riches was not for him. The sacred mantra came back. There was no stopping him now. He decided to spend most of his time on spiritual practice and keep journalism to the minimum. This meant he had to cut down on expenses. As destiny would have it, his uncle, Govinda Menon, who himself was a religious scholar and a devout man, had just arrived in Delhi for a long stay. Menon decided to move in with his uncle. To keep up his job of writing for the newspaper, he would go to the local club at night, quickly gather the latest topics from friends, and then get his writing done with the least effort. This freed up his entire day to pore over books, looking for answers. He read European philosophy, but found it too dry. He then turned to the writings of the Indian sages. He engaged in discussions with his scholarly uncle, who had met great saints himself, including Swami Ramana Maharishi. Menon vividly remembered his own encounter with this saint. The questions in his heart were now thundering. He wondered about these holy men. Was there any truth to their claims of having found eternal bliss? Were they not concerned about mankind? Why are they sitting up there in the mountains when people are suffering all around me? Books were not enough. He was burning for first-hand experience. This is when Menon made his famous quote to his uncle. "I am going to the Himalayas to see what those holy men really do. I'm going to get the inside story." On the surface, this famous quote might give the impression of an agnostic and angry intellectual out to expose something. Some books and documentaries portray it that way. But to stop there would be misleading. On digging a bit deeper, we see a different picture. Menon had already rejected the pursuit of material gain. He was already on the path of spiritual practice. It had given him a taste of an inner peace. He wanted more. Lastly, his own words confirm this. In 1950, he gave an interview with Champion magazine, where he said, "It was at this realization of the uselessness of worldly values that P.B.K. Menon, curious to know what an ashram life would be like, and thirsting to meet his savior, one day reached Rishikesh." End quote. That's why he was drawn there, to learn about himself, to quench his spiritual thirst.
Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Bhajeham Shivoham